This transmission is about resonance, frequencies of energy, and the idea and understanding that it's all about resonance. All experiences are created through the generation of certain frequency patterns in your consciousness that are representative of certain experiences in physical reality. The idea of things like channeling, telepathy or telempathy, mediumship, psychic functioning, remote viewing, the idea of accessing information, whether you refer to it as tapping into the Akashic records or not, all of this operates on the same mechanism of resonance. When you allow yourself to focus on your passion with regard to any of these topics, again, channeling, mediumship, telepathy, information access, psychic functioning, in the way that allows you to start feeling a connection to that energy, your vibrational frequency adjusts and aligns with that concept in a manner to put you in touch with the frequency of that thing, of that concept, of that reality, of that experience, and allows, by alignment, it to flow through you unimpeded, without resistance, aside from whatever belief systems you may have that might get in the way. So the idea is to understand that the mechanism of all of these experiences is the same. It's about the willingness you have to let go of what you think yourself to be and let your frequency dial itself in to what it is you are passionate about experiencing in physical reality. Everything is a frequency pattern of consciousness. And as you tune your dial, yourself, your attention, your focus, your consciousness to these things, with practice, you get better and better at recognizing the specific frequencies, the flavors of them, so to speak, the colors of them, so to speak. And as you begin to recognize them more and more by practicing more frequently, tuning in to those frequencies, those concepts, you will get better at recognizing the specific frequencies that have to do with your interests, your passions, your excitements, and it will come more easily the more you clear yourself out of any belief systems that would prevent you from allowing that vibration to link up with you, to align with you. It will get easier and easier and easier to express these things if they are truly relevant for you. But remember, the idea of your core frequency is attracting already everything you need automatically. The only thing that would prevent those things from manifesting is the belief systems within you, or simply a lack of recognition of the timing that would actually be appropriate for those things to manifest. Letting go of that illusion of control is what will actually allow you to experience more control of these things, more refinement of your ability to tap into different frequencies that will manifest in your life the things that are relevant for you to experience, laid out by synchronicity in perfect timing. So feel the vibrations of your being, and in the upcoming meditation, in this transmission, we will help you practice how to tell the difference between many of these different things and how to start learning how to feel the vibrational resonance and frequency of the things that represent your core vibration, your passion, who you really truly are, and the way that those resonances and frequencies and vibrations express themselves in your physical reality. Resonance is the key. Like tuning forks that vibrate in harmony, that align in that way, you will become your own tuning fork with a flexibility to go up and down the scale of frequencies to access and align with whatever it is at any given moment represents your excitement, your passion, that is most relevant for you. So we will get to that meditation in a little while. Until then, we thank you for allowing us to share this idea with you that we will take further with you later. And in return for the gift you are giving to us, how may we be of service to you this day of your time? You may begin with your dialogues and your questions if you wish.
Hello, Bashar. My name's Chris, and I am speaking with you today from Wales in the United Kingdom. The question I have is a question I've wanted to ask you for at least 5 years, so I'm so happy to finally be getting an answer from you. The question is, what is Kundalini? And I'd like to ask a number of sub-questions as well. How relevant is it? Where does it come from? Do you have it in your civilization? Can humans evolve without it? Why do some people awaken it and some people not, etc.? I'd be so privileged to be able to ask you these questions and answer this question for so many of your listeners as a part of our spiritual journey. Thank you so much.
The idea of Kundalini is simply an alignment of your own energy 100% in that moment, and it typically will shoot up the spinal column when all of the chakra systems in your body are aligned and vibrating in harmony. It's a harmonic resonant response to alignment. Now, not everyone in life has to experience that, but the energy is always there and the potential is always there to align in that way, to feel that surge of energy that is the moment of instant expansion and instant awareness of the fullness of your power, the fullness of your energy, the fullness of your being. It can be something that coincides with a rising of your frequency, the ascension process, so to speak. But again, different people do things in different ways, and not everyone has to experience it as the Kundalini experience you're referring to. There are different ways to experience the alignment of that energy. Good day.
Hello, Bashar. This is Shama from Italy.
All right. Good day.
Thank you for the opportunity to talk to you.
It is our passion and our pleasure.
I am aware that during the night, during my sleep, I have a very rich dream life, and I do inner work, profound inner work. But in the morning, I'm not remembering those dreams. I want to know if the work that we do in sleep is it still valid and effective, even if it's forgotten by the morning?
Yes, and in many cases it is supposed to be forgotten by the morning because you've done the work. Move on. Follow your passion. Apply the energy. It's still there. The knowledge is there, but you have to move forward and act on things that are representative of your passion to see the result of the work that you are doing in dream time. It's not about remembering it, it's about applying it. And that application will make itself evident when you take action in the direction of your passion.
Thank you.
Yes.
I live in a community, and for me, it's a wonderful process of accelerating my spiritual evolution through the constant reflection that others are for me.
Yes.
We have many rituals, we have celebrations, equinoxes, solstices, Day of the Dead, etc. And I'm asking you, in a society, have you already gone beyond living in communities, or is it still a valid way to grow?
Understand again, like anything, it's a permission slip that works for you, so fine for you to use it. From our perspective, on our world, the entire planet is a community. Remember, we're all telepathically connected. We're never out of touch. Yes, there can be smaller units, smaller community units that may coalesce synchronistically for a certain purpose, such as our birthing villages that happen on certain regular timings, where many different births happen simultaneously, and then it is disbanded when those births occur. So the idea is that there are many different things that may allow members of our community to come together for a specific purpose and work together with common interests. But again, it's a fluid thing and a fluctuating thing. Not all of them last for any length of time necessarily. But again, the one that does last is the fact that the community is the planet. The planet is the community. Our entire society is one community.
And do you have rituals and celebration, or those things are obsolete?
We don't really have rituals per se. We do celebrate sometimes, but in a different way than you usually do. Nevertheless, again, remember, we are operating on pure synchronism. When people come together for the purpose of a celebration, it is automatic. And again, it lasts as long as it needs to and then disbands. But again, we don't really have rituals per se, although some individual members may choose to go through certain practices more than once, depending upon what it is they are attempting to do. But we don't consider them to be ritualistic in the same way that you do.
Thank you. One last question. We understand that most of, if not all of the ancient gods and goddesses that came to Earth were extraterrestrial, that came with their own agenda and were seen as God and goddesses by the earthlings of those times. Those ancient gods and goddesses, have they continued to relate to Earth and to be involved with Earth somehow, even though have been forgotten? And is it possible that they are even now preparing for contact with us again, of returning and reconnecting with us? And is it possible that the likes of Horus or Isis or Hathor and Quetzalcoatl are coming back to reconnect with Earthlings?
Some of them, yes. Many of them have moved on. Some of the energy has turned into archetypal versions of your collective consciousness, so you can still relate to them in whatever way you wish to, whether they come back physically or not. So there are many levels, interdimensional levels to this relationship, but some of them may return, some of them have moved on.
Thank you so much. I love you, Bashar.
Our unconditional love to you, Aveo.
Hello, Bashar. This is Carol from Hong Kong. I would like to ask about feeling guilty over someone or an animal's death because of the things that we did or we failed to do. Is there a way to ever overcome this kind of guilt? Because it really stops me from celebrating life and all the good memories that we used to have. Thank you. Bye-bye.
The question would be, did you do it intentionally? Did you learn anything from it? Will you do better next time? The animal already forgives you. So let it go and connect with the animal in spirit in a loving way. Get into the vibration of love and the connection that you may have with the animal, even after death. But if you've learned a lesson from it and will change your behavior to do things differently in your relationship with animals on the planet, then learn the lesson, apply the lesson, and move forward. Remaining in guilt allows you to only perpetuate the negativity that may have occurred in the relationship and doesn't allow you to move forward. The animal wants you to move forward, so by all means respect the animal's wishes for you by having gone on into the spirit level to lure you after it, to make that connection with you so that you can move on and move forward in a more loving way, in a more solid and harmonious relationship with all life on the planet.
Hello, Bashar. Thank you so much for your work as a first contact specialist, first, let me say.
It is our passion and our pleasure.
Excellent. My first question is regarding the crystal vortex in Arkansas in the Ozark Mountain area. Can you expand a little bit on the Sasquatch connections in that area?
One moment. That particular vortex has a link interdimensionally, one of them anyway, to the place, the dimension that the Sasquatch often go to remove themselves from your reality. One moment. One moment. One moment. The Ozark area is particularly strong as a interdimensional connection to a few very specific kinds of alternate or parallel realities that the Sasquatch take advantage of to remove themselves from what you consider to be your typical reality. There are sort of a network of tunnels in space-time there that can be traversed by those who know how to do so. There are many comings and goings interdimensionally in that area. Sort of very much like a Swiss cheese vortex, so to speak. Does that help?
Yes, absolutely. Is there a particular hotspot where if I wanted to go and try to connect with them that I could maybe meditate in, or a particular Sasquatch name I could meditate on?
You could call Tsemiquest. Can you repeat that?
Tsemiquest.
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 Yes, Tsemiquest, sorry.
Yes, Tsemiquest.
Yes.
You can use your own instincts to pick the spot, but it should be a spot that is mountainous and forested. Do you have access to something like that?
Yes, yes.
So, do you have yourself a favorite spot that is mountainous and forested?
There are a few.
Do you have one that stands out?
Yes, Mount Nebo.
All right. Go and in a meditative state, allow yourself to open up to the vibration of Tsemiquest and see what happens.
Okay, thank you.
You are welcome.
I have just a few more questions. I have a large birthmark on the outside of my right wrist that to me it resembles a spaceship. Is that just a mere coincidence, or is it there to remind me, or is it a symbol of certain ET connections that I have?
You have asked the question and answered it yourself.
Excellent. That's what I thought. It's just good to have that validation sometimes. Does somebody with amalgam or mercury fillings in their teeth, having that in the body, does that create disruptions in somebody's ability to be able to make other dimensional connections?
It depends upon your belief system.
Okay. You've said before that it's not time to reveal any further information about Rh negative blood type, so I was just curious if it was time for a little bit more.
No.
Okay, fair enough. One final question. So I've been experimenting a little bit with tones in the ears and vibrations on a vibration plate, and just trying to sort of sync those up for, let's say, if I do 40 hertz in the ears, I know that sort of helps with the neurological system. And the vibrating plate maybe is also vibrating at 40 hertz. Having those two together, does that amplify and accelerate the effects?
It can, and 40 hertz, remember, is the threshold, the first threshold level neurologically in the brain that represents the gamma frequency, which is the channeling frequency.
Okay, that was my last question. Ha'atu, Bashar.
And to you, good day, Aveo.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Cheryl. I'm from Toronto, and I would like to ask Bashar his insights on ableism and discrimination of the disabled. While society is going in the direction of inclusion of all minorities, the disabled are still left behind and in fact very rarely mentioned. If you could also address the hatred of disabled by many and society seeing them of no value. Many people get profoundly upset when they have to do something different for a disabled person. I see a future where everybody is included and nobody is other. Their differences will be celebrated and nurtured. But I feel and see disabled are still being left behind, and I'm having trouble with ableism, discrimination, and the outright hatred by some. Thank you. I have aphasia from stroke. I did too. I did pretty good. Thank you.
Well, first we would change the definition that many people are starting to use on your planet. Instead of disabled, differently abled. Many people will make choices from spirit to come through in a way and have an experience that creates them to be differently abled. Now, many people express the idea of hatred for this or discomfort from this because they are afraid, because it represents an idea to them of what might happen to them, and they do not wish to experience those things that they see other people experiencing. Other people who are strong enough and brave enough to limit themselves in certain ways for the purpose of finding other ways of doing things, other ways to move forward, creative, imaginative ways of being differently abled. This again expands the human experience and allows humans to see that there are many different ways to accomplish things, and that no one needs to be afraid that it's going to happen to them, but even if it does, they still then will have made the choice and an agreement on a certain level to express to the rest of humanity that you have a great potential to do things beyond the normal, beyond the typical, and that sometimes being differently abled brings this out in force, makes it very obvious when people have the creativity and imagination to overcome what appears to be a disability and truly express it as a different ability, something to explore for all humanity. It is of great service to everyone if they will take it for the lesson that it is.
Hello, Bashar.
Good day to you.
Hi. I had a question about miracles on the website. There's a quote from you that said, "Miracles are not the exception to the rule. They are the natural order of things." Could you give more of a definition or understanding of that, please?
Well, the idea is that in your society, typically, people look at what they call a miracle as being an unusual phenomenon, something unexpected, unusual, very rare. And it is a coming together of certain ideas, experiences, influences, appearances, objects, so on and so forth, that seem to be out of the norm, seem to be beyond what you consider your typical reality to be capable of producing. But the idea is that you're creating your reality every single moment anyway. You are creating miracles all the time just by having a physical reality experience all the time, constantly, as a continuous experience. So the idea is the same, shall we say, mechanism used to create any reality experience that you are having is the same mechanism used to create what you typically refer to as miracles. It's just that for some reason at that moment, synchronistically, your mind and consciousness is open to the fact that that is being created through alignment, through synchronicity, as a relevant experience that stands out because of the meaning you have infused in it and the reflection it provides for you in a certain direction. But if you start to understand that you're doing this all the time, start to see everything as synchronicity, then you will start to see physical reality as miraculous as it actually is every single moment. Does that help?
Yes, thank you. The Holy Spirit, the Catholics, I'm a Catholic, think of the Holy Spirit as kind of the voice between us and God. Is that what you would call the higher consciousness?
In a sense, yes, although the idea that you give to the concept of the Holy Spirit can also be spirit guides, can also be aspects of all that is. It can act as a conduit no matter what form it takes. It is generally representative of the conduit of connection and communication to all that is. But it can take many forms.
Why is our society, why is guilt and shame so much a part of our society?
Because you have created a sense and an experience of disconnection from all that is. You have created a sense of disconnection from your self-worth and your self-empowerment. Therefore, what comes with that experience of disconnection, not that you're actually disconnected, because that's not possible, but what comes with the experience of disconnection is the shame that goes with the idea of not belonging, not being connected anymore, considering yourself to be less than and unworthy. And that is simply the side effects that happen from that negative state of being. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes. Are there any writings that are available that would better reflect the teachings of Jesus?
Yes, the Gospel of Mary Magdalene.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much, Bashar. I appreciate it.
You are very welcome.